Hello everybody, I'm Steve and welcome to Green Side Up. I thought we'd have a little look around this tunnel today and just have a look at the crops, what's in and what's happening and where everything is up to. Did anyone notice yesterday on the sowing video that I used the wrong footage at the start of the video? I was waving goodbye to everyone at the start of the video. Anyway, we'll have a little look around this. What a plonker. So back in July I made a little square of ground here into a no dig area. I just laid it up with compost and it's only sort of 3 foot by 3 foot, and I was just wanting to try a trial, do a little test, and I sowed some parsnip seeds in there in July, whereas normally a majority of people sow there sort of February, March and even into April. So I thought I'll just give it a go and see what happens, because I know no dig speeds growth along many plants, and also had the factor of it being indoors as well, which also speeds growth. So we'll have a little look at those and see how they're doing. So this variety I got from Premier Seeds Direct, and although I can't read that anymore, oh I can just about, it's Palace F1, that's the variety I use down here. And to be honest with you, I'm quite delighted with them. They've done incredibly well. I also tried some outside in one of the no dig beds, and they're about half the width, half the diameter of these, but you know, if I put my thumb next to it, they're a good eating and roasting size. So you know, and they've got a good month or more of growth left before, you know, if we're going to start eating them at Christmas and beyond, then you know, I'm really quite happy with how these have turned out. Let's have a look at this one as well. So yeah, they're all of a decent size. Very pleased that this has worked. I mean, to sow them in July, yeah, these are all going to come good, I think. I mean, look at that, they're marvellous, you know. These ones are a wee bit small, sort of finger width here, but there's some good sized ones in there, and there's some thicker foliage in there, so I think there'll be a reasonable crop there for Christmas. Yeah, very pleased with that, and that's just sowing in July, as I say, and I'm really quite taken aback by that. I would never have expected that result. I did it more for the fun value than anything else, but yeah, very surprised by that. So that's the parsnips indoors. So in this corner over here I've got some chard. I think there's about 6 or 7 plants in this little area here. Yeah, they're coming on well, and we'll be able to start cropping that in the next week. I do prefer the bigger leaves with them, because I actually eat the stems of the leaves as well. I know a lot of people will just take the stems out and just eat the leaf, but the stem is as good as a beetroot to me. It's earthy, lovely flavour. So yeah, they're getting to a size now where they're ready to harvest. We'll start getting the harvest from. Moving along, we've got pak choy. It's bolting like crazy here, and it's interesting to note that the green ones are bolting, but the dark ones not so. So a lot of this will be disappearing over this next week or two. We'll get it eaten, basically, get rid of it and move on to something else. I mean, the lettuce bed is just here. This is where I had this botrytis about a week or so ago. Still got a few lettuces in here. You can see these 4 oak leaf here. On a recent video I picked some lettuce, picked them from those 2 over there, and there's another picking to come from here, and it'll go vice versa. A couple of weeks after I'll pick from those 2 again, but they'll keep growing from the centre, keep moving on, and that's good in a garden. It's what you want to keep growing on. Over there I'm just trying another experiment again, just overwintering this Rebecca plant. I dug it up from outside just planted it in a tunnel and see how it does in the tunnel. And here's some of my Japanese mustard. This is Komatsuna. Massive leaves on these, they're as long as your arm. And once it's cooked down, it's just like a spinach. It's absolutely brilliant. And again, it's got a nice thick midrib to it, so I'll take the leaves off the midrib, chop up the midrib, fry them for a couple of seconds in some butter or some rapeseed oil, or even olive oil, whatever. And then I'll chop up the foliage reasonably fine and just throw that in and wilt it like a spinach, and it's a lovely side dish. And here's one I haven't tried yet. This is ready for a harvest. I might do this today, if not tomorrow. But this is red giant as well, and somebody did comment when I planted it, did mine go red? And I said, well, I don't know, because this is the first time I've ever grown this variety, but you can clearly see those leaves are turning a lovely shade of red, and to be honest with you, they're very attractive to look at. So looking forward to trying that and seeing how that cooks up and what the flavour's like on that. So moving over to the other side of the tunnel now. Here's the mess. All the cardboard for a no-dig gardener. Compost and tools and paraphernalia. And I've got some red cabbages here. Now these red cabbages are notoriously slow. They're just starting to curl their inner leaves now, just to head towards starting to form into proper cabbage heads. Whether they do or not, I don't know. I think I've got them in over late for me, but hopefully, you know, sometime into the hungry gap next year we'll get something off them. And there's a whole load of carrots over here, a mix of Chardonnay and Paris Market, the little round golf ball ones. It's not particularly good, that bed. And there's the two carrot tubs up there, again Chardonnay and Paris Market in them. There for the challenge with myself and Tony Smith. So there we go. Now down here at the front I've got some more lettuce. This is a maize. As somebody said to me, it's a summer lettuce. Well, I don't like disagreeing with people, but it's actually an autumn lettuce. When somebody tells me it's summer lettuce, it means you harvest in the summer. If it's an autumn lettuce, it's harvest in the autumn. And this one is, if you look the lettuce up, it harvests all the way up to sort of October, November. We're in November now, and I've planted it, and it's growing, and I'm harvesting it, so it's an autumn lettuce. That's just my opinion on it. I've got some beetroot here, multi-sown in modules. And this is grown chiefly for leaves. Maybe into spring next year, if I don't rip them up, ready to get tomatoes in, they may bulb up and I may get a crop off them, but otherwise it's purely for leaves. These bigger brassicas here are Romanesco cauliflowers. No sign of a head on those as yet. And we move on to the next bed, where I'll just stand back a bit so you can see. Let's go over here. Got some more cauliflowers in here. Very tall and yeah, not the best plants, but they're coming along. And if we look down in here, we've got a cauliflower coming, so again, it's a crop and I'm happy about that. Moving over, we've got some Savoy cabbages. This one's just hearting up there quite nicely, and this one's doing very well. I mean, that's a good size there. Happy about that. And some purple sprouting broccoli here. And if I go behind, you can see this is what I mentioned in another video recently. This fungus is in another bed. This needs removing. And then we move on to this Chinese cabbage. Now this is the best I've ever grown it. I've said it a few times on video now that this just normally collapses on me. But it's doing very well this year. Apart from these blooming holes. Now everything, it's peppered with these holes, and I really don't know what it is. I've had a very close look at the leaves and plants. almost on there every couple of days. I go and have a good look. I mean, look at that, it's like a piece of lace, and I can't see anything on them. I suspect it's something small, maybe a flea beetle or something. So that's pretty much it, the tour of the tunnel really. Crops to come, some going over. Oh, there is one more thing I could show you, I suppose. Let's go and have a look at that now. So here we have my carrot bed. So it's tipping it down outside. Well, it's just a break in the showers now, but it's on and off, and it has been all morning, and it's been like that for 2 or 3 days. Yet I can come in here and garden all year round, regardless of what the weather's doing outside. This is the bonus of having an undercover growing space, whether it's a smallish greenhouse, one of the cheaper blow-away tunnels, or a big ex-commercial tunnel like this. I mean, I've got both. Well, I've got all of them really. I've got a greenhouse at home, I've got this big ex-commercial one here, and I've got my little tunnel there. I'll put a link up here now for you to go and have a look at that smallish tunnel where I explain what I've done with it, because it's a sub £200 tunnel. I think it's about 160 quid. I'll put a link down below to that as well. You can go and have a look at that, and if you want to buy a tunnel, it's one I recommend for a number of reasons, all explained in the video about that tunnel. But go and watch that video and you can have yourself this sort of crops all year round. So you've got fresh all year round. There is stuff growing outside now, and there is stuff you can grow outside, but you can extend your season and extend the variety of crops that you grow. So that's my tip. Go and have a look at that and see what you think, and please stay safe everyone, look after yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care now, ta-ra.